Same one for the club, same one for the club, same one for the club, same one for the club. I don't cry often, but when I do, it's like a hurricane. Niggas always see me joking, like I ain't heard of pain. That's why that fit up in my system, and why I'm swerving lanes. I can't keep living like I'm living, something gotta change. If you listen to what I'm saying and you feel every bar, you can cover up that hurt, but you can't hide the scars. I just think about my daddy and look up at the stars. You can't even meet my daughter, that shit is kinda hard. On my soul, I kill a nigga if you play with me. I just look at niggas stupid, like what you say to me. Sometimes I think about my life like ain't no saving me. Life's a bitch and then you die, that ain't okay with me. Don't compare me to these rappers, cause I don't rap for fun. I rap to speak my pain, so I don't bust my gun. Niggas talking all that shit when they ain't got the lungs. I'ma keep pushing through this shit till Jesus comes. I used to pop them painkillers just to ease my mind. I was lost inside my thoughts, so peace was hard to find. I was at my lowest point when I was fighting time. I was broken, moving sloppy, that's when I drew the line. We was talking wearing masks way before this COVID. I sat outside them niggas' houses, they ain't even know it. And free my nigga in the system, bro, he never folded. And wasn't never scared to shoot, shit we call him cold. I'm a dog up in this bitch like the Georgetown Hoya. I leveled up on niggas major and got it out the soil. You can't start cooking off the rip, you gotta let it boil. I got a daughter now, when I be damned if she ain't spoil you. I'm nothing like these other niggas, I'm in a different bracket. Don't fix your lips to ask me who I think the best at rapping. We battle tested in the field like generals and captains. I had to get up off my ass and had to make it happen. And I don't cry often, but when I do, it's like a hurricane. Niggas always see me joking, like I ain't heard of pain. These cops keep killing niggas, man, this shit a shame. And if all lives really mattered, then we'll see some change. Still up in this hurricane.
What's up, bro? This next, holla at me. It's real crazy out here, dog. You know what I'm saying? Cops got license to kill. We do anything, they shoot first, ask question later, dog. This shit crazy, bro. Just the way we look. Not even what we done. Something gonna change, bro. I don't know when, I don't know how, but something gonna change, my nigga. Only thing we can do is keep our head up high, you know what I'm saying? Keep pushing. Stay dangerous, though.
2020 will be remembered for a lot of things: coronavirus, economic problems, and violence. That's true in Kansas City and nationwide. Final numbers will soon be turned over to the FBI, but early information already paints a clear picture.
Hey, yo, Wavy, where you at, nigga?
Because if you ain't the bloodline, you ain't anybody.
Live.
We good? What up, everybody? Tavita Van Pelt, Soisauce in the building. CTE Talks, ready for our Week 3 review, Week 4 preview, talking everything NFL, and give it 2 weeks. 2 weeks we'll come to NBA, because we got like preseason stuff about to start. So let's go ahead and start off with some of that stuff real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because I was looking into it. Let me see. I got the odds like real quick on my. We're gonna to like this. For the last couple years, we've been talking about the leagues in the transition time, right? Like the OGs is phasing out. It's time for the younger dudes. We talked about how Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown might get lost in this middle ground of not like being the older younger dudes, but being the younger older dudes.
Yeah.
And so we talked about that and how they might miss their window fighting the other guys. They was able to clutch it up this year and get theirs. So good for them to get that, because people was talking extremely bad on the Celtics, and Tatum and Brown have accomplished a lot before getting that ring. So we talked about that part. I feel like the chapter of this NBA book that we've been living closed with the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel. I felt like the Steph, KD, LeBron Olympics was like the end of that chapter now. I feel like now
the changing of the guard.
Yeah, like that. I feel like that was really like that when we talk about that time of transition and then the Celtics winning. I felt like that was really like, you know what? We really are moving into the next chapter of the NBA. So what you think about that?
I agree, man. I agree. I think the what I also want to look at is I think the Olympics might have sparked another 2 year window where the old heads just opened up another window for themselves for the next 2 years
Yeah,
to
yeah,
say, "Hey, y'all thought we was done?
yeah,
Nah, nah.
yeah,
Like we gonna see what happens with Curry and the Warriors because there's all those rumors about Curry teaming up with LeBron and KD finding a way to get back with Curry or. But I
yeah,
think I think the Olympics for sure was like that's the closing chapter, and
yeah.
this next year or two will almost be the all right. This next 2 years will dictate
Oh,
who
yeah,
you're handing it
we,
to,
yeah.
if you're handing it to anyone.
And that's the difference between our generation becoming the older dudes versus the other one is when the past generation was old and they was walking out, they was all dookie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man,
they was the 14th man on the end of a bench. Like our dudes is active top 10, top 15 players in the league, and they're not walking out, you know what I'm saying, without being like, yo, these teams should be contenders. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're gonna talk about Phoenix because they have KD. We're gonna talk about Steph with Golden State. We're going to talk about LeBron and the Lakers because they are still impactful players currently today. They're not just riding off, you know what I'm saying, the We Don't Love You Paul Pierce tour. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not just riding off like that, like getting that last one off. So I do think it's gonna cause some teams to again miss a opportunity. Like I looked up the odds. The Thunder have the second best odds behind the Celtics to win the title.
the Thunder.
Yes, and I think that's very heavy projection because as much of a climb they've been on, I've also think it's kind of just been right place, right time.
I can see that. I can see that. I added a poll in the chat, y'all. Was the Olympics the changing of the guard for the old heads? Steph, KD, Bron. So
Like,
if y'all are watching, go ahead and answer that.
yeah, like so, like I just it's like the OG at work. He was like, "Well, what about the Kings?" I was like, "The Kings to me is the line of like if you're a good team, if you're not a good team." But like I don't. I told him I felt like my X factor for that team was Keegan Murray. But Keegan Murray can't be like Keegan Murray has to be star Keegan Murray, not role player fit behind Fox and DeRozan type dude.
Yeah.
'Cause- So
I'm almost looking at
and
Keegan Murray like what we thought Malcolm Brogdon was going to be after his rookie year. You remember he came out his rookie year and he
yeah,
went crazy.
yeah.
We were like,
But
oh man, he might be the dude.
but then when Malcolm realized like and the NBA realized like okay, Malcolm's still a great player, but you're not the star. Malcolm became one of the most valuable role players in the
Hmm.
game. And I think there's like a lot of the younger dudes who have been drafted who are still like, am I a key piece or do I need to Malik Monk? I'm one of the best six man over at the Kings. You know what I'm saying? I'm not there's a lot of these dudes who now have to kind of fill the new role players of the NBA because a lot of them are starting to walk out.
Yeah. Then
And
on
we
the
have
other
to
side of
start.
that, you got Tyrese Halliburton getting traded from the Kings, which to me that blew me away. I was like, y'all drafted dude in a
Yeah.
certain position in the first round, and you've already had a couple years with Demotis and Aaron or De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
You let him go, and now look at him.
Yeah.
He's blossoming over there in Indiana. I still think his ceiling is a little lower, but
I think he's at where he's at. Like
yeah,
I think the player we saw last year is the player we're gonna see, healthy for the next 4 years at minimum. I think the Tyrese we saw last year is the Tyrese we're gonna get. But guard play in the NBA is so heavy and so elite. It's like that same top 3 point guard season this year could be barely a
My bad,
Picks.
y'all.
And then the saga. Good Lord. Can Victor get them to it? Is Uncle Adam gonna help Victor get to a play-in game at least? Just to make sure he could get good TV out of the guy. That's what I'm excited to see. Yep, it was. I'm putting my vote for it was. Oh shoot. He said there's no audio, so there's no audio right now. I'll dance move until there's some audio.
We good. I got it fixed.
Got it fixed? Bet. Perfect. Bet.
Sorry, y'all. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We back though.
Bet. I just went on an entire rant about the NBA with no audio. All good. Thank you. We good. Forget it then. Save it for next time. Everything good your way is? How you doing? Before we get into these games and preview talks.
Yeah, man. We solid. We solid over here. Yeah, man. Long week. Trying to find a new norm. Shout out to my little pup that passed away on Sunday, man. Irie girl. Y'all usually see her sneaking into the frame about now. But we had to send her across that rainbow bridge. We solid, man. I'm ready to get into it though. We ready to go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Week 3, NFL Week 3. Ready to review some games. Like you said, big up. Let's go ahead and start with our home teams. I'll be selfish and go first. I ain't know what the hell happened up in Vegas. I don't know what the hell happened up in Vegas, but I'm glad that it happened so people could just woosah for a second, have their victory lap of moments and relax. The one thing that I left that game and was like, I absolutely believe this, is I do believe Carolina has a good O-line this year. We actually have a good O-line this year. The rest of that mess, I'm not taking that to the rest of the season. But I do believe from the things that I've saw the first 3 games, we do have a good O-line, and they are working around that. For the Raiders, it just looked like they thought nothing was going to happen. Like they was just going to be able to lay down. And then when it started to kind of get a little bad, it was like, oh, we got to turn this up. And momentum was just on the Panther side. It do feel like they came into that game really lax after getting their win in Baltimore. So
yeah, I mean, I think that was one of the things that not surprised me, but like I hadn't watched the full Panthers game until that game. Watching back and forth between that and the Eagles game. The O-line is legit, though.
O-line is good.
And I want to say that the game plan, which I think we all expected it, the game plan fit in perfect to Andy Dalton stepping in. Hopefully that was like a learning curve for Bryce to be able to sit and watch, which he should have had last year.
I told you
what it is. Where we're at now.
Last year, Frank should have just, we sit a quarterback, whether it's 4 games, 5 games, 6 games. Do not let them walk out their game 1 of their rookie year. Like just don't do that. And Frank did that. And that, again, once you do it, you can't go back. I didn't like the way that the benching happened because I don't like what I felt like was a fake interview for be like, Bryce is our guy, and 24 hours later you bench him. Just makes it look, like you're not about your word. That was like the first real hiccup for me for Canellis throughout the entire process. But like when I was watching, I was like, even the Saints game, I said, no, we got a good O-line. Just Bryce was being horrible. Receivers was getting clamped in New Orleans. Then we go to the Chargers game, and everything that went bad that game was 100% Bryce's fault. So I was like, okay. I didn't think but you said Andy stepped in, and Canellis was right. Converting 3rd downs helped them to just open up the playbook and be consistent with the run, and that's what they was able to do. So I'm just very happy that I know for once, we got an O-line, and this O-line can travel. And I know that's at least going to help to set a scale. Did not like the Adam Thielen touchdown was like, did not expect that brother on the other end of that. And now he's out for at least 4 weeks on IR. So we'll see what Mingo, who's been pretty frustrating. Yeah, we'll see what Mingo, who's been pretty frustrating for us as fans, because Mingo does the small things great and the things he need to do very bad. Like, yeah, the brother blocks.
He
The
can
brother
block. Yeah,
willingly.
he blocked his ass off for real.
The brother blocks, so you cannot take him off the field because he actively blocks. But then running routes and getting the ball in his hand, it's just like everything, he feels so unsettled. And you're just like, man, but like all of our receivers and tight ends do one thing great, the other thing horrible. Like JT Sanders, our rookie, is our best receiving tight end. The nigga can't block. Sorry, the brother, yeah. And he even be going the wrong way on plays. Like we be like, bro, are you not paying attention? So you can't keep him on the field. Like it's literally a pass set for him. So I'm just like, we'll see how they grow. They're bringing up this undrafted dude who actually has a lot of potential to me as a receiver. Not a good blocker. Like you said, they do one or the other thing well. We'll see how they work with that. But I do think David Moore in this next game will get more. I was just impressed that they was able to win. Now I'm just looking for the consistency in Canales. Like what type of coach is he going to be the next couple weeks, and how his philosophy and the game plan is going to change. You know, in his preseason interviews and all that, he would say, we're going to become what we're good at. So I'm just interested in seeing how that develops and if they get past the trade deadline with Bryce.
Damn,
He's saying that.
you think that's in the question at this point?
I really do. I really do. Because I don't think it is reported the highest that was offered was a 4th round pick. And that 4 teams offer trades. Like that is in stamp stone. 4 teams tried to trade, and the highest they got was a 4th. I do think there is everybody's for sale. Everybody's for sale. I want to know exactly, but from local reporters, they say that they will eventually go back to Bryce this year. Like they're saying that they will go back. They need the break. They need to, get this going. If this team is 500 at the bye week, you can't go back to Bryce. You know what I'm saying? You can't. Because it's just messing up momentum. Like you just die on that sword and let Bryce play again next year. But if he can actually get to the trade deadline with Bryce, I would be extremely impressed. Like I really would. Even if like they trade him in the offseason, I would be impressed. He said he's bricked up. It's stupid. Hey, dude.
Jizz Whisper. I don't know who that is.
So, man, I know you ready to fire Sirianni. I know you was on. DeVangio did good though. The team was only like 9 points for the longest though. So I felt like Vangio had to do his part.
All right, so I took some time to think about it. Right, I took some time to really think about my team, think about where we're at, think about how we played. I can't put it all on Sirianni.
I can't hear.
Hold on.
My bad. I was like, well, it's still 9 points for the longest. Like, you know what I'm saying? Something got to be going good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
I know the stream can hear me because I see that. But anyways, I took some time to think about it, man. I can't put it all on Sirianni. I can't. As much as I want to, I cannot. Yeah. Now, I looked at the last 3 years that we've been good.
Yeah.
All the same calls Sirianni is making, the players were able to make him look like a genius.
Yeah.
4th and 3 and short, we've been converting on that the last 3-4 years. Amazing. Yeah. No problem. This year has become a problem because now Sirianni's leaving points on the field. You have a big opportunity in not having such a great defense. That defense showed out this game. Don't get me wrong. You're at the point of the season where you don't have AJ. You lost Smitty mid-game. Yep. You lost Lane Johnson early in the first half. You lost Mekhi Becton, who's been great at right guard. So now you're sitting with a whole different, basically a different offense that you came into the season with. I think if you still have AJ, you still have Smitty, you still have that right side of the O-line. Shout out to Fred Johnson and everybody who stepped up on the O-line though. They did great. But if you have AJ, you have Smitty in that game, you convert on a lot of those 4th downs. You can run that quick slant to AJ on 4th and 3.
Yeah.
I don't think, there's a lot put on Saquon, but what I got to put these first 3 games on is the players. I can't put it all on Sirianni.
Yeah.
It's the players. Because you see what happens when you're not about to sit here and tell me that Derek Carr with I don't even say that he has weapons. Like, I can't say that Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave are weapons for him. You can't tell me that he is better than the setup that Kirk Cousins has.
Yeah.
Right?
I think Shaheed and Olave are better than London and Pitts.
I mean, I think so, but also I don't think that Derek Carr is better than Kirk Cousins.
Nah, I don't think that.
So that's why I look at Kirk Cousins should have elevated that team.
Yeah.
And we should have won that game. But that came down to the players executing. I was looking at zone plays that we had against the Falcons last week compared to how we had this week. There's a lot better execution. We had a whole lot better pressure. And I think New Orleans has a better O-line than the Falcons does. We got pressured. That was the difference. When the players actually stepped up and did something about it, I saw a whole lot of pressure from Josh Sweat. He didn't get a sack. That's cool. I saw Jalen Carter dominating anybody in the front 3 from guard to guard. I saw Brandon Graham actually hitting the edge. I didn't see that last week against the Falcons. And that's where I got to look at it and say, you know what? I can't put this all on Sirianni. This comes down to our front 7. Our linebackers are playing. Bond is amazing. That dude is a role player. He sure tackler.
Yeah.
Buns in coverage. That one catch that Alvin Kamara had on his back, I can't fault him for that. You're right there. There. Alvin Kamara had to jump over and pull it off your back for that to be a completion. Yeah. But Bond is amazing, man. I like Bond. Fangio bought himself another week. I think Sirianni finishes the year as the Eagles head coach. But if we don't get past the second round, I don't know, man.
Yeah. I said the team has championship expectations. So I think anything, like you said, second round or shorter, there will be conversations around Nick.
Yeah, they're gonna start looking at, because I know Bill Belichick was interested in the job. They're gonna start looking at Bill Belichick.
Mr. Jacksonville. Boy, yeah. I heard Bill getting pushed to Jacksonville. They said Shad Khan left that mug. They said he got up out the building and was cussing. And they was like, that brother don't be cussing. And they said he left out of that Jacksonville Buffalo game, and they said they've never seen him that mad before in his life. So
sorry, Dougie B, you look like you were on up out of there, big dog.
Hey, Dougie did this after the Super Bowl, though, that he won with y'all. Like, he just kind of tapered off. It was just like he reached his peak, and you're like, yo, if you could stay here, and then he just doesn't stay there. He's just like, all right, you know what I'm saying? I got the best I'm going to get out of them. And
I think the NFL looks at Dougie P, and they almost adjust to him after they have a great year.
Yeah.
Because, I seen a stat. The first 18 games of Trevor Lawrence's career, he's like 3-6, like 3-15.
Yeah.
And then they showed Bryce. Of course, they were like, "Hey, look, Bryce, 3-15 too. There's hope."
But remember, Trevor's early years was with first season was with Urban.
Urban Meyer.
And then Doug came and they were still booty to start, and then they hit that hot streak to go to the playoffs, get to the divisional round. It's like it's either Doug and Jacksonville is super cold or super hot, and there's no in between. So that's
our expectations too high on Trevor Lawrence. Based on what he's shown us?
Mine isn't, because I feel like I don't feel like mine is too high. I don't feel like I'm requiring of him nothing that I don't see him being capable of, or the crowd. He's not a rookie, bro. Like he's on his second contract now. Like, we could be gracious with that stuff before, but you've been to a playoff game where you came back in and won. You went to KC. You lost that game off your own back. You threw a pick. They fumbled. Like, you're supposed to learn from some of these mistakes, and it does visually look like the brother's regressing. Like, it really does look like he took a step back in just his own quarterback play. Like, you know me, I've been T-Law top 10, and I'm looking at him now, and I'm like, nah, brother, you don't look like that this year. You look like one of the more worst quarterbacks through 3 games this year. So we also know he's not the most dominantly vocal person, I would assume, like his presence. So I don't think he's really rallying the guys around. I just think, he's been clear, like, hey, we've been bad, but I don't know how the team is rallying around with that.
I don't know if he knows
So,
how, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know either. Again, that's something we'll see. But I was laughing because doing a mock draft, Jacksonville had the first pick. And I was like, these dudes always getting the first pick. They went Trevor, they went Trayvon. I said they go on another T. They go on Travis Hunter if they got the first pick. I said that's where they going. So I did watch the Bears versus Colts game. Because I wanted, like, I haven't watched the Colts this year in an extended version. I wanted to watch them. And this game, every scouting report of AR was true. Big body thug, cannon of an arm, lacks the nuance of the quarterback position and working from throwing accurately within the pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was true. Then everything with Caleb was true. The brother can throw from any arm angle. Cannon of an arm. I saw him trying to fix problems at the line of scrimmage. Line was messing up. So, like, when people was like, he can't play in structure, I'm like, I don't think nothing in structure for them works because just the philosophy of it is off right now.
Yeah.
Told you, I didn't like the DeAndre Swift signing because that DeAndre Swift is a luxury signing. You don't sign him to be your true feature back to like carry the load. You need dudes who can carry the rock 18 to 23 times a game and wear a defense down. Like, that's not Swift. Like, Swift is a luxury pickup. And if they used him that way and gave Roschon and Herbert the runs, I think it would help their offense out a lot. But it seems like with DJ Moore, they have to manufacture his touches.
Supposed to be a complimentary.
I can't hear you again. Dang, I can't hear you again. Is this something on my end?
No. I think it's me.
My bad. Is this something on my end?
No, it's not you. I don't think it's you.
Is it on me?
No.
My bad. We good? 1 second, y'all.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
While Soy figures that out until I can hear. God dang it. No, my scores is right there. But we having too many technical difficulties. This is a sign. Didn't expect the Giants to win. What's going on with that?
You can hear me now?
Yep, I hear you now. Good. We still good? Ooh. We still good? Work through said issues. Who else? So somebody called him a train wreck. That was funny.
All right, we good now, yeah?
Bet, yep, I hear.
Bet. My bad, y'all.
No, good. Yeah, that game just showed me like coach stay patient with AR. He could work these problems out. Things could get deadly for them. For the Bears, it's like I still see the same problems existent last year. And at that point, it's just like I know personnel could be an issue too, but it's like I have to blame coaching for not finding philosophies and schemes that actually benefit the players. And again, I think they're trying to rely on other things to make up for what they can't coach.
I mean, I think we were heavy on the train of you don't trade Justin Fields, you draft to help him. Because if you draft a quarterback, you were the first overall pick, and you almost were handcuffed to Caleb Williams as soon as you locked yourself in number one. But we look at you just draft somebody or something on the O-line to be able to give yourself some help, you're going to get a better result than you're at right now.
Yeah.
It is what
Yeah,
it
and
is.
you
We're
know,
at where we're at.
yeah, people. Again, we all knew, just like with Victor, whoever was at one was forced to take Caleb, no matter who was sitting there. Like you had to do it, and they had other resources that they were able to use, and then they just decided to use them another way. So we'll see as the year goes on if they fix that. What was your shocking win of the weekend?
Ooh, shocking one. Let me pull up the scores so we can have them on the screen too.
So the Giants beat the Browns.
I don't want to say that one was shocking, especially after seeing Malik Neighbors go off the week before.
Minnesota didn't shock me winning. Minnesota shocked me winning by that much.
Minnesota. Oh yeah. I almost want to say the Rams, man, because
Oh yeah,
that was when we looked at like, man, Shanahan has owned him, and he
yeah,
has.
yeah,
Minus a couple games here and there, especially in the playoffs. Shanahan has owned McVay, but that
yeah,
one to me, no Puka. You got
yeah,
no Puka. You got no Cup. Granted, they got no CMC and no Debo, but
yeah.
still, you have a
But we know,
better defense.
but it is the trend of when they're missing CMC or they're missing people, the 49ers start to lose games. And it's something we be like, hey man, this is what we be kind of telling y'all. Is Detroit underwhelming, even though they're 2-1 currently?
Yes, Detroit. We're talking about Detroit.
Yeah, the Lions.
Man,
Or have they just played 3 good teams?
I'm not gonna say that. I mean, any given Sunday, right? But I think from
Yeah,
what I've seen from the Lions, I fully expected the Cardinals to win that game. I truly think Cardinals just beat themselves. They got away from handing the ball off to James Conner, and they started to get pretty with Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison. Like when you get away from what made successful the week before, and Marvin Harrison having all those catches and touchdowns, this is what happens. You got to get back to the run game. But the Lions, to me, I'm not impressed with what I see yet. They were favored
yeah.
coming into the year, winning their division, and they ain't looking that way.
Denver beat winning in Tampa. Did not
That
see that coming.
convincingly too.
Yeah,
They
did not see that coming.
they gave
Uh,
Baker Mayfield a hard time.
yeah, didn't see that coming at all. Then said Buffalo just blowing out Jacksonville from the jump was ridiculous. And then Washington being able to pull it out over Cincy on the road. Very impressive, man. Jaden Daniels looked great. Play calling and Daniels looked improved, man. Still having, well, it's Cincinnati. I want to say like maybe we'll see what Washington defense looks down the line as they grow and get things going. Where you like, I don't think this is a gap Cincinnati could come back from. I
No,
feel like the other years we felt like they could. I feel like I don't know, like this team just feels extremely lenient on its top players, and I'm starting to just feel like I don't know if I'm not saying they're not a bad team, and you just can't hit a couple rough weeks, but this one just doesn't feel like they can make up this gap in time to make a push. We'll see. I'm kind of leaning on. I'm not giving them the doubt this year.
I agree. I mean, I think for the next couple of weeks they have a bye week in week 12. They got y'all next. They got y'all this week. In Carolina.
Yeah,
Then it's followed by Baltimore, New York, Cleveland, Philly, Vegas, Baltimore, Los Angeles, Pittsburgh. So I mean, there's some winnable games in there, but I think the one benefit that they have in coming back is the fact that Baltimore's 1-2, Pittsburgh 3-0. That we
that's a
expected
gap.
that from a Pittsburgh team.
Yeah,
Cleveland being 1-2, that's probably their only saving grace right now is the fact that the other 2 teams in their division, who are usually the number 2 team coming out of that division, they usually
yeah,
send 2, sometimes 3.
yeah,
That's probably the one saving grace that they have is the fact that they're looking at it like
okay, Baltimore's 1-2, and the Browns are 1-2, and I think the Browns can sustain that. I fully expect the Ravens to continue to turn it around, especially looking at their schedule, but I don't think they'll be able to dig themselves out of this.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Next week after week 4, will be our quarterly update. Power rankings, early award winners, where you was right, where you was wrong. We're going to plant a couple flags. So after this week, since we'll have a good amount of information, we'll get to be able to kind of make some adjustments on where we was at. So I'm excited to see that. And going into the Thursday night game, Dallas at Giants, kind of want to take the Giants. I kind of want to take the Giants. You know what? I'm going to stand on it. I'm going to take the Giants. Yeah, I think I'm going to rock with this one. I'm, again, same with the Bengals. I'm doing it with Dallas. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt in dominance, but I'm also like, I like New York's D-line versus Dallas's O-line. And I think they can present problems up front for them. Now, I don't think they can expose much else, but maybe that Giants defense on a short week up front can give them some problems. I'm pulling the jumper. I'm going with the Giants.
Yo, the Giants over the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm
Dallas'
gonna pull a
favorite
jumper.
by 6.
I would take the Giants to cover, but yeah, this is, if I had to pull a jumper on one, I'm gonna pull it on the Giants this week.
Damn. Based on what we've seen and what we talked about last week with guys getting paid in Dallas and kind of being like, all right, I got my money. I'm kind of good now. It's almost looking that way too. So I might have to be there with you and take the Giants at home. Singletary gonna have a big game. Malik Neighbors gonna have a big game. I think Dallas somehow still be underwhelming with 300 plus pass yards. I think the biggest issue right now Dallas too, outside of their defense, is their run game so unsure.
My sound is messing up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I feel like it's skipping. All right, cool. Making sure. I didn't know if that was on my end. I feel like that's probably me. Yeah, I can hear you. Just feel like it's skipping for a second. I don't know if my stuff's just buffering or what.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue with Dallas outside of their defense is, I'm looking at the run game, and Rico Dowdle is now starting to be your number one back. Zeke got 6 touches last week, and it's like y'all went from a team that had a fairly dominant run game the last couple of years to now just being, we don't know who our lead back is.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I could definitely see them on the. They had rumors that they tried to trade for Miles Sanders.
Sanders?
Yeah. And I think the only reason why the Panthers didn't trade him Miles Sanders is because Jonathan Brooks is on IR. And Brooks comes back technically next week. So I would not be shocked if Miles Sanders found his way to the Cowboys after this week. Like, I wouldn't. So that's not on me. Yeah, I wouldn't. So, everything's telling me, pick Dallas because Dallas does their thing. But I'm like, you know what? Short week, New York coming off a dub. I'm gonna rock with them. So yeah, I'm gonna pull this jumper. Like, if this was a Sunday night game, I'd be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Call that a wrap. But I'm gonna rock with the Giants on a short week. God, that'll be bad. Nope. I didn't. Could have sworn somebody said like a 6th or a 5th, something like that.
6th or 5th round?
But I really do feel like they just didn't. Yeah, I would take it, but I understand that they didn't take it because Jonathan Brooks is out. Like, it would have just been Chuba and Blackshear. So I just if once Jonathan Brooks is 100% active, I think they're moving Miles. Like, I really do. I really do think they're moving Miles. Because one, Brooks was drafted with a 2nd round pick. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think they want him 3rd string running back in it, and Chuba's been doing his thing. I do. So if after this week, if Brooks is 100% ready to go in Chicago, I'm not gonna say it might be that week, but before the deadline, if Miles is moved, I would not be shocked. And I know they said Dallas called. So
honestly, I don't even think Miles Sanders would be a good fit in Dallas.
Nah, well, because Dallas was also they said Dallas was on the books to take Jonathan Brooks before we took him. So it was just kind of like, and I thought Jonathan Brooks was gonna go to Dallas for sure too. I didn't think we was gonna take him. I really thought that was gonna happen.
Like, hey, so we didn't get our running back. Can we have your other running back?
Yeah. Somebody's got to go there. Like you're right, man. Dallas's run game and run defense, both need improvement. I don't know how they're gonna improve the run defense within this time, outside of a philosophy change. But yeah, they got to figure something out in that run game, man. Dak was best when Zeke was at his best in his run game.
Yeah.
Like that's the Dak I think people idolized. So,
especially coming
to my game of the week.
Action.
Yeah, top 3 games of the week. We can start at number 1. Packers at the Vikings. I mean, Vikings at the Packers. I read that wrong. Vikings at the Packers. O'Connell, LaFleur, Jordan. I don't know if he's going to be back this week. Vikings coming off of that dub. This chess match of a game is going to be crazy to me. But I'm taking the Packers to win at home.
Oh, yeah, man. Go Pack,
which is crazy.
Go Pack, go. They're favored by 2.5.
Taking the Packers to win at home.
I don't think you have to rush back Jordan Love, especially after seeing Malik Willis. Like, we're seeing a night and day Malik. This is what I think Justin Fields should be looking like with a good quarterback, with a good coordinator, and a good steady coach in Chicago. We're seeing that in Philly, or in Pittsburgh. But I'm go Pack go too, man. Go Pack go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Green Bay.
8 sacks last week.
Yeah, it's just crazy because I told you I've been on the opposite. When I don't support Malik, he does good. When I support him, he does bad. So I've been trying to be on the opposite end of it. Divisional game on the road. Usually, if the home defense presents a matchup that I like, I'll take it. Xavier McKinney he's probably gonna get another one. Brother's been hot this year, man. And Alexander, I like what they got on that secondary over there for Green Bay. So I'm gonna take Green Bay to win this game. This isn't the Aaron Jones revenge game. That'll be next time when they meet up in Minnesota. This isn't the Aaron Jones revenge game. So we both for Green Bay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Green Bay. Go Pack, go.
Bet Green Bay. To the next game of the week, New Orleans at Atlanta. Saints versus Falcons. Atlanta, to me, to be 1-2 at this point should be very fortunate. They've also could be 3-0. You know what I'm saying? Like they could be that. So I think this is a battle of kind of catching early the matchups. Like, I don't think Atlanta can present the problems to New Orleans that Philly did, but I do feel like they can do things on the secondary end to help that out. But New Orleans might be able to run the ball the way that they want to on this team. But I think Atlanta can protect up front. This one's tough. Where you at on it?
Oh, I got to go with the home team. I'm going to go with the Falcons. And this just being a divisional game at home for the Falcons. I do think that we'll see a heavy dose of Alvin Kamara, who I think is going to be the difference in this game. I think if we would have seen a heavy dose of Alvin Kamara against Philly, they would have had a lot more of those deeper shots open later in the game. But I think they got away from the run too early when we started to stop some of those first down, second down runs. But I'm gonna go with Atlanta's offense to win this game against New Orleans defense.
Yeah, and I could have just sworn that I saw that one of that New Orleans linemen is out. Yeah, I could have sworn one of their linemen is
I
out.
see the right guard questionable right now.
Who is? I think one of them I think is questionable or out. So that sucks. I'm gonna go with Atlanta too. Like you said, I think I've seen enough from them the last couple games, close games, especially to pull them out. To be like, I think that's enough for them to start to build on. And they got 3 divisional games in a row coming up. I think it'd be very important for them to get this first one. So I'm gonna go Atlanta to win at home too. So, and the final game of the week, the somebody about to get fired like a mother sucker game. Browns versus Raiders. You lose to the Giants, you lose to the Panthers, and then both of you end up playing each other the very next week. A fan base is ready to explode. Aiden O'Connell is potentially gonna start. AP talk about people making business decisions. Cleveland, I told you they planted the story about Deshaun. They want out of that contract. They are done with the brother. Yeah, I'm going with the Raiders though.
I'm going with the Raiders.
I'm going with the bounce back. Yeah, I'm going with the bounce back, and I'm going with the Raiders.
I look at who has a more stable coaching situation. And I hate to say it, but they got the more stable quarterback situation too, whether it's Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew, man. Like,
yeah.
Hey, what up, Great Ray?
Hey, what up?
Hey, where the hell
I
y'all
just
been
don't. Man, we've been trying to be consistent, man. What up, Greg? Man, we missed you, dog. We was like, man, we letting our guy Greg down, man.
All season,
So yeah,
all season had us.
I told you it's tough for me to take the way that Carolina performed against the Raiders and take that as law against the Raiders. Like that, like everything just went so well for the Panthers. I don't want to wipe it away, but it's just tough for me to think that that's, especially when you play a tough game most of the time versus the Chargers halfway up. You do come back against Baltimore. It's very tough for me to take what I saw from them last week and be like, nah, that's law. They do need to run the ball better. They do need to be better on the secondary part. But I think if they ran the ball better and more effectively, but I don't think they're built to be that good of a running team anyway. I do think if they can get that together, man, it should be cool. I'm going to take the Raiders to win because I am dang near off of this. I'm dang near off of this goddamn Browns hype. JD5 is fire. He's fire, man. He's fire.
Yeah,
so,
JD5 is a dog.
So you with the Raiders too?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Raiders, man. I like the Raiders defense. The Browns defense have been extremely underwhelming across the board. Front seven, secondary.
Underwhelming.
I'm just like, what? Usually you can look at a guy like Myles Garrett and build off of him, and then you look at your secondary and be like, yeah, we got some pieces back there. That mug have not been put together at all this year, not one game.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to take loser of this game, loses a wide receiver. Whichever team loses a wide receiver. Devontae or Cooper is gone after this game. You know what I'm saying? That was just my hot take. Loser.
Where though?
Loser of this game loses a wide receiver.
I know if the Browns lose, the Chiefs are about to go try to get Coop. I know it.
But nobody in the AFC is doing business with the Chiefs, bro. I don't believe that.
Unless you're the Browns.
We literally got Deontay Johnson because Pittsburgh refused to do a deal with KC. That was the reason. That was the whole reason we got him. It was said the Chiefs gave a deal, but they were like, "We are not trading him to the Chiefs."
So you said
they sent him to Carolina.
You think the Lions are going to get Coop? Because I fully think the Browns is losing. DA coming to Washington.
Yeah, the DA.
I don't know about that. The Raiders got to lose for that to happen.
Yeah, Raiders got to lose. I'm going with the loses a wide receiver. Because, they paid Judy. Like, technically, the Browns paid Judy. And Cooper is on that back end of it. They do got, like, now Jamari Thrash, they have some younger potential things there. But I think if they lose this game, because I've been on this, Detroit wants to keep their window, and they've done so much drafting well and everything. They're gonna take a swing and bring somebody in.
Talks heating up.
Talks heating up with Adams.
I think DA to the Jets was always a thing too, and I think that one's starting to get heavy too.
Yeah, Adams to the Jets was a thing, but I don't think they're gonna be friendly about a deal with Adams.
Yeah. Check this out though.
Like I really don't.
Coop to a divisional rival. He going to the Ravens.
I don't think they'll do business in that area either.
I don't think they have a choice at this point, especially when you're stuck on that Deshaun Watson contract.
That'll be crazy though. I take two. I'm not gonna say New England because a contender would want him. A contender, like somebody who wants to make a push would want him. So, all right. Let's hot take the rest of some of these games. Well, let's get to our people before we quick pick them. Philly going to Tampa. Philly looking to go 2-0 in the NFC South. You think that's happening?
Big if. Philly's favored by 2 points right now on the road. Just crazy. Big if. If the Eagles front seven play like they did against New Orleans. Huh?
Devontae out?
I think he's still in concussion protocol. Most likely though. And I think AJ might be out as well. AJ's still on the fence. He hasn't practiced this week as of today.
Tampa is a bad matchup for y'all secondary.
Oh yeah. But it's gonna come down to our front seven. I don't think it's gonna come down to our offense. If our front seven can play like they did last week against New Orleans, we'll be straight. We can get pressure consistently. I like our O-line. Mekhi Becton's gonna be back. He's gonna have his hand casted. I don't know if Lane Johnson's gonna be back because he's in concussion protocol. But I think we get it done. I'm taking y'all. I'm taking y'all too. I'm taking y'all also. I said I do think Tampa's receivers present problems for the secondary on the outside left in those matchups. But I said I like what I saw from them defensively, and I think it's starting to get cleaned up. Like you said, I think the players are starting to step up and do their part. So I'm taking Philly to win in Tampa also. To my people, Bengals coming to Carolina. Just found out on the injury report that our left guard Damian Lewis has something wrong with his elbow. He's going to be out this game, but they said just this game. They're not going to put him on IR or anything. So he's gonna aim to play. He's gonna aim to play through it, but he's not playing this week. Chandler Zavala is set to start at left guard. The last time we saw him, Micah Parsons had like 4 sacks on the brother, playing from D tackle, just picking on him. So we're hoping there's some growth there. The only thing I told you I'm taking into this game is the fact that I know we got a good O-line. J.C. Horn has been balling. He really has. Outside of that one hiccup with Quentin Johnson, the brother's been balling. Secondary, not T. Higgins, but that Iosova dude for the Bengals. Oh yeah,
he might be able to eat because he gonna find himself lined up with Troy Hill, and that brother might be able to eat. Outside of JC and Mike Jack, our safeties and slot has been food. So I'm not liking it. I damn sure ain't picking the Bengals because I'm not picking them. But that I do think the key to win,
guys.
Yeah, Yosiraj. Yeah. The way that I've seen him play the last couple of weeks, the way that he could match up, that brother might go for 8 and 100 against us. Because he won't be matched up with JC. He probably won't be on the outside. And he's going to find himself constantly in just a matchup with a person that the way that they've been using him, he's going to eat. We ain't letting JC follow nobody too much majority of the time. So I don't think we're going to see like him follow Jamar, but it's Jamar or T. I would actually prefer him being on T. Higgins. I think I would just live with the Jamar money.
I think he's a Hawaiian cat too. We got another Puka situation right here with Yosibas.
That'd be done. Yo, man, it's good to see you back though, Greg. For real, man. I would just say key to the game for us. I'm not gonna lie. I think the key to every game for me with Carolina is win the turnover battle, rush for 150. That's it. Everything last week I told you was just too good. I'm not taking it. If we can just win the turnover battle and run the ball, I think we have a chance to be in the game and see what happens towards the end. So, Red Rifle revenge game against Cincy, we'll see. So yeah. All right. My man Greg. All right, let's quick hit these other games. Rams at Chicago. Who you got?
Rams.
Rams. Think I'm gonna go with the God. Think I'm gonna go with the Rams too. Think I'm gonna go with the Rams also.
Yeah, I think they ride the momentum off of last week's win, and they come into this week. No Puka, no Coop. I don't think it matters.
Yeah. No, our bad, Greg. You said we've been inconsistent. We back Wednesdays. Wednesdays we back. Wednesdays we are back, and hopefully more from there. We've been trying to tighten things up on our end so we can make sure we ain't got to disappear. Wednesdays we are back for sure. Man.
Oh, he going with the Bears.
Going with the Bears. Yeah, man. With no Puka, no. Oh man, I don't know. I'm gonna go Rams because I'm still not liking what I'm seeing from the support of Chicago for Caleb. And if Chicago wants to win this game, I think they have to be the same thing. They have to run the football. So, but I'm gonna go with the Rams. Pittsburgh at Colts.
Oh, I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
4-0 start. Pittsburgh favor 1.5 on the road. You got a defensive genius in Mike Tomlin planning against an AR who has pretty much shown us what he's capable of and where his weaknesses are. So I think they eat.
Think they eat?
He's not gonna worry about his fingernails and ball out this week.
I'm going with the Colts.
What?
Yep.
Damn.
I think they figured out. I think they're gonna have to lean into their current identity of AR and grow as that grows. This team can run the football. The Colts O-line is back and it's real. Jonathan Taylor runs so smooth, Goose. Like Jonathan Taylor runs so smooth, bro. I think they're gonna just lean into that identity. I think if AR can just clean up some of the, not even the errant throws, but just like the really bad plays. You know what I'm saying? The tip pass pick, the mid, like I think if he could just clean those up, that margin of error, I think the Colts could win it. So I'm gonna take the Colts to win this week.
Damn, you taking the Colts against the Mike Tomlin team?
Yeah. Well, because it's a Mike Tomlin team, but they ain't been explosive scoring all the time either, though. Like they just been battling it out. So, I think, some of them games just come to a flip. I think if the Colts can run the ball, keep them off of it, and the Colts can run the ball, I think they can negate. I think AR might present a bad problem for TJ. I don't think he could be full pedal to the metal running at him because he knows he can get out. It's TJ, but I think it'll just present a problem, and I think Shane will use that. So
Pittsburgh
I would take
1.5. Colts covering.
Yeah, I would take the Colts. Denver at the Jets.
I'm gonna go with the Jets. I'm gonna go with the Jets.
Yeah, I'm going with the Jets too. I like what I saw from them last time. I think they're gonna build off of that, especially with a little bit of time. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jets.
7.5. I'm also gonna go out on a limb and say that Garrett Wilson isn't wide receiver 1. It's Allen Lazard.
It's Allen. It is. They're trying to force the Garrett Wilson stuff, but it's Allen. But it's cool because Garrett's keeping a lot of attention away from those guys. Breece Hall and Braylon Allen should be eating. That's where the money is in this offense, man. Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. Though that's where the money is. So
now last time we saw a running back duo like that in New York, it wasn't the Jets. It was the Giants. There's Brandon Jacobs and Bradshaw. They went crazy. That's what we see right now, Braylon Allen and Breece Hall.
Lean into Allen and Breece, man. Let them dudes eat. They can control games.
Jets favored by 7.5. They covering?
Jesus. I would say, yeah. This secondary is going to be a bad matchup for Bo Nix and them boys. I would say, yeah. Not because I don't think it's a blowout, but this game could be like 23-13. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could just be that. So, Jacksonville at Houston. Going Houston. Yeah. Like, I'm really disappointed at where I currently stand with the Jags because I've put so much stock into these people, man.
They got no Joe Mixon, no Damian Pierce. I think Cam Akers is the starting running back. He didn't have a great week last week. I'm still gonna go with the Texans just because it's a divisional game on the road or at home for Texas.
Jacksonville went in there last year and won, but this ain't that same Jags team to me, man. This is not that same Jags team that because I picked them last year when they went to win. So now I was thinking this was a chance for them to steal one, and I'm like, nah, bro. I'm taking Houston at the crib. I will take Jacksonville to cover
6.5.
I will. Yeah, I'll take them to cover a touchdown, but I'm not taking them to win.
I think after the Texans got handled last week, I think they're gonna come out and put up points. It might be like 35-7.
Word on the street is some Houston fans getting pissed off at Bobby Slowick. I said, hey man. I said Bobby nice, but Bobby got to take some time. Commanders at Arizona. Ooh.
Arizona favored by 3.5. I'm the same way right now. I'm gonna take Washington on the road because I think the Cardinals are getting way too ahead of themselves with this Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison connection.
Yeah,
if the Cardinals win this game, favored by 3.5, the Cardinals win this game is because you gave James Conner the ball 20+ times. That's why y'all win this game.
Yeah.
If y'all lose this game, it's because y'all decided to put Kyler Murray on the run way too many times, throwing to Marvin Harrison more than 7 and 10 times. I understand he had a 3-touchdown game. I get it. 3 touchdowns, 4 catches. Cool. Chill out, man. Like,
yeah.
Chill out.
Yeah. I also think I know for a fact I would take Washington to cover. The question is, do I want to take them to win? And I think Arizona back-to-back at home though. I don't want to like, I don't want to feel like they lose back-to-back at home. Like that's Washington traveling from the east to the that's a lot. Do I? You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna rock with it. I'm gonna rock with Washington. Because I'm thinking about it, and I think Scary Terry's giving them problems. I'm gonna lean with Washington.
Scary Terry, man, Scary Terry. Yeah. I still don't think we've seen the explosiveness from JD5's legs, even though he got 171 rushing yards. We haven't seen that come yet, and I think we'll see that this game.
I'm hoping Dan Quinn starts to get some of these pieces defensively together. From what I've seen from them, it looks like the vulnerability on the outside is holding them back from him kind of being where they want him. Greg, tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I feel like your corners is starting to sell you. And that's not, I feel like the corners need to be better to help this defense out. Chin, Luvu, all them dudes, you know who I love that went over there. So, yeah, I'm gonna take Washington to win this one. I do think they could build off momentum from last week, but it is tough for me. Arizona dropping back-to-back at home. Patriots at 49ers. 49ers get right.
San Francisco favored by 10.
I'm gonna take the master class on this one. I'm gonna take them to cover.
He said corners trash.
Good. I know I ain't wrong then. I feel like Washington cornerback play is holding him back on that defense. So, but yeah, I'm gonna take San Francisco to cover the 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with San Francisco. That 10 points is a little much for me, man. Only because I don't trust, and I never thought I'd be saying this over the last 5 years, is I don't trust 49ers defense. Debo's doubtful. We know CMC is out. Kittle's questionable. Trent Williams questionable. I don't think any of those the last two are at a risk to miss a game, but I don't know, man. Greg, I think the Patriots
Travis Hunter Washington jersey swaps. Y'all might not be able to pick them though, but we can get Travis Hunter jersey switch video. Help that DB room out. We talked about Cleveland at the Raiders. Chiefs at the Chargers. No Derwin James out for a game. Suspended on a hit, and the hit would piss you off. Make safeties great again. Damn, man, what is people supposed to do out here in these streets? Freaking stupid. That being said, taking the Chargers.
Me too.
The Chiefs have been slipping by too many of these. It's in a way like how I feel about Pittsburgh. You've been getting by winning some games. Eventually, you're going to drop one. And I feel like the Chargers, solid enough team, run the ball. Harbaugh's gonna have a plan. I think I'm taking the Chargers. Taking the Chargers at home.
I'm gonna take the Chargers too. They got a whole lot of questionable tags across the board on offense, which is probably one of the most concerning things. They got a lot of questionable tags across their O-line. I don't think any of them are actually gonna miss the game. Joe Alt is questionable right now, sprained MCL.
If Joe Alt ain't playing, changing my pick.
Oh yeah, I mean they say he got a sprained MCL right now. But that'll probably be the difference for me. Justin Herbert's also got a questionable tag. I like the Chargers just in the fact that I think it's a divisional game, man. Divisional game at home. Like you said, the Chiefs are just game by.
I'm taking the Chiefs not being. But let me put it like this: maybe this version of the Chiefs is the version that we're gonna have for the season, which is cool. But I'm also like, now Harbaugh has 3 games worth of what what this team does. And I just think he could present a plan that's going to have problems with them. And so, I'm going to run with the Chargers. I just think the Chiefs have been leaving so much out there that eventually they got to lose one. Buffalo at Baltimore, Sunday night.
Baltimore. We're going to see Lamar go off. He has to. He has no choice. He got to go off. Lamar has to go off this game. Josh Allen he's been impressive, man. He's been impressive with what he's had. Definitely been impressive. Bills defense are playing sound football, man. They're playing assignment football across the board. There's nothing that blows me away that stands out that says, man, this person on the Bills defense. Their D-line is great. Secondary is really, really solid. I wouldn't say they're great. Really solid. But I'm going to go with the Ravens.
The Kyle Hamilton game. Brother's going to do something special for me.
Ooh.
Mother's going to do something special for me. I'm taking the Ravens. Best of the weekend. Yeah, I'm taking the Ravens to win. You said, think they're going to, well, you said Buffalo's been really good. Joe Brady, offensive coordinator for the Bills, is my guy. But I think Baltimore kind of got to who they need to be last game. Again, they really have to stop taking their foot off the gas and just bury people. But yeah, I'm just going to throw out a Kyle Hamilton legacy game in this one. I think he's going to present Buffalo a problem. So yeah, Baltimore. Monday Night Football. The funniest game. Will Levis versus Tyler
Huntley.
Tyler Huntley on Monday Night Football. This game is going to be funny. Yeah.
You know the NFL mad as hell when they're looking at this game after week 2 talking about there's no way we can move this game, huh? We missed the Dallas game. We took the Giants.
Yeah, we both took the Giants this week. Just got a feeling, short week. You never know, man. Tennessee wins.
I'm taking the Dolphins.
I got Tennessee on this one. My people Jalen Waddle season, they gonna be pissed off at me. I'm taking Tennessee in this one. Yeah.
I'm taking the Dolphins because I think McDaniels is going to be extremely intentional getting Tyreek the ball. He got the ball 4 times last week for like 40 yards. 4 or 5 times for like 40 yards. That's unacceptable. Regardless of who your quarterback is, you got to find a way to get the ball to Tyreek.
I feel like I'm saying this for a lot of teams, but Tennessee has dropped so many so close so bad because of just some stupid stuff that I'm like, the coin's got to flip the other way for you one time.
You just got to give to him because of that?
Yeah. And, Will went and did his thing last year in Miami and made the comeback. Nah, you know what? Never mind. Change my pick. Go on Miami. He ain't going to do it twice. Never mind. My bad. Ain't even realize why I did that.
Nah, my bad. McDaniels is still the coach on the other side. Still got Devon Achane. I don't know if they'll have Raheem Mostert, but you still got Devon Achane. You still got a pretty solid defense.
Yeah, I'm going Miami.
I think you're going to see a couple of jet sweeps with Tyreek, a couple of bubble screens to get him the ball. Yeah, I'm going Miami. 1 point favorite at home.
Miami called about Bryce.
Hmm?
Miami called about Bryce.
I seen that. I seen that. I think Tua's back in 2 weeks though.
Yeah.
I think that there's no question that Tua comes back. No question.
Nah, McDaniels is committed to Tua. So if Tua is gonna play, Tua's gonna play. Unless they physically be like, no, brother, you can't play, McDaniels will wait. Seattle at Detroit.
Detroit's
Monday
favorite
night.
3.5. I'm going with the Hawks. Let's go 12s.
Hawks win outright. Straight out. Yeah, Mike McDonald is gonna have a bag for Ben Johnson. And I think this might be the lesson that Detroit needs to clean their act up. Mike McDonald, Seattle, walk into Detroit and get a good dub. DK Metcalf is going to do numbers. I feel like, which I'm man, the hell going on with my dog JSN? 1 week he 4 catches, next week he 12. Come on, JSN.
Yeah,
So-
pretty inconsistent. Miami called about Young. Yeah, I seen they called about Bryce Young.
Yeah.
I think DK has a huge game this week. I think K9 is back this week, but Charbonnet been going off. He been going
Charbonnet dope.
crazy.
Yeah, K9 and Charbonnet dope. 1-2 punch for real. So, yeah, and Geno's been playing off the chain. Man. So, yeah, I'm taking Seattle to go into Detroit, get a dub, man. I think Mike McDonald has given a lot of these offensive-minded dudes problems. Last year, Shanahan, McVay, problems. Second half of what he did against the Chiefs, problems. The brother just finds ways to take a lot of the dudes who are just these offensive-minded dudes and just give them problems. Ben Johnson and them are going to have some problems with that boy. So I'm taking Seattle to walk into Detroit and get a dub.
I think a big thing about Detroit that makes them extremely predictable is you start the game with David Montgomery, regardless of what happens, second drive, you see Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
And I think, to me, I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I feel like he should be the focal point of their run game as well as just their overall offense, right?
Yeah.
But when you're so consistent and you're so predictable in what you're doing, regardless of if David Montgomery comes out first drive, scores a touchdown, you don't see him second drive unless Jahmyr needs to go to the sideline. And I've noticed that. That's why every year I pick Jahmyr Gibbs. I draft him in like the 5th round, 4th round. I don't know how he falls that far, but
yeah,
I think they're just too predictable, man. DK gonna eat. We're gonna have a whole lot of sign language is talking from DK.
Yeah. All right. So we've already picked a couple upsets. We took technically the Giants. I took the Colts. We both took the Chargers. And I think technically we both took the Commanders because they're both underdogs. That will be our underdog picks for the week. Lock of the week.
Lock of the week. Ooh, that's tough to have a lock this week.
Lock of the week.
Who was our lock of the week last week?
Who was the lock of the week last? Let me go back and look. Who was the lock of the week last week?
I think we took the Packers over the Titans.
Yeah. Packers over the Titans. Oh, I did the Colts too. Because I said the Colts wouldn't lose at home.
My lock again this week is going to be Go Pack Go. Packers against the 3-0 Vikings team. That's my lock of the week.
Ooh.
Red Rifle Revenge Tour is a lock. Ooh.
El Rifle Rojo. Well, Frisco would be too easy of a lock of the week. I do feel people are on the roller coaster, but I feel like Baltimore is a lock to win. Yeah. We picked the upset surprise of the week.
Oh, actually, man, lock of the week is the Jets versus the Broncos.
Ooh.
7.5 favorite at home against a Broncos team that's coming off of a win. Bo Nix is about to get overwhelmed by that defense.
I'm with that. I can support that. Yeah, the other underdog for us would technically be the Rams. They're underdogs as well. And we're taking the Rams to win. So, all right. Any final thoughts on week 4 before we get out of here?
Yeah, I'm gonna go on my team. Depending on how this week ends for the Eagles, you're either gonna hear Jalen's a fake or Sirianni's getting fired.
Told you, loser of the Browns Raiders game is losing a receiver. Whoever loses that game, that receiver is gone. If the Raiders lose, Adams is gone. If the Browns lose, Cooper is gone. That's what I'll go there. Jacksonville loses. Dougie
WP
P
out.
might be out of there, boy.
0-4.
Dougie P, yeah. Doug might be over there with his boy Frank. He might be over there with his boy Frank. Eberflus, Dougie P, Eberflus, Frank, they was all together. They all about to be kicking it. They all about to be kicking it. So, all right, y'all. That is it for this week. We are gonna get out of here. We'll be back every Wednesday. As of now, looking to add other games. Be trying to just sit here, do a couple watch-alongs on, some primetime games, some NBA games coming up. Just watch-along stuff to kick it. All off vibes. Next week, after week 4, power rankings, award winners, planting our flag on teams where we was right, where we was wrong so far into the year.
You might see the return of the quarterback power tower.
Yep. Quarterback power tower and all of that. So, World Series pick. I got to look. I don't be following baseball too much. I got to look. I'll look and come back. Yep, we'll be back next Wednesday, everybody. 9 o'clock Central Time, whatever time that means. For the rest of y'all, Vita, Soy, Greg, good to see you. Sepha, love you. We all out of here, y'all. Be easy.
Because if you ain't the bloodline, you ain't anybody.